Your class doesn't matter. Season of Discovery.
If you say you don't want to play an overpowered class, you're probably lying and coping, because your favorite class is just not that good. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best, because it's simply human nature to want to be the best, the most awesome, the most wanted. And with so many people asking what the best class is, what they should play, how they can be the best, I'm here to tell you all the simple truth.
Okay.
You can't pick the best class. Not in Season of Discovery. This isn't the World of Warcraft in the way that many people know or are used to. There isn't a predefined meta and balance that is set and done. You cannot just follow a guide because everything is data mined and revealed instantly. And yes, there is data mining, there always will be. But what is real and is coming out and what isn't is not yet determined or known. Not before.
That is why it's fun though. The thing that's really appealing about Season of Discovery is the unknown. What will be good, what's going to be the meta, all that stuff. It's fun.
The patch fully comes out at least. Phase 2 itself will not be completely data mined and discovered for a few more weeks. And then Phase 3 will be a whole new ordeal and process when it does come out. Thus, there is no way to pick a class and know that you are getting the best option for the phase within the first few weeks.
Nobody knows.
Because most times, for most of World of Warcraft's history and most of its versions, unless Blizzard egregiously fucks up, the meta is set and done. In Season of Discovery though, the devs are throwing darts at the board and saying, fuck that class this week in particular. Whether you'll wake up overpowered or underpowered is anyone's guess, and that makes that—
Dude, that's fun though. I don't know. Like, I love that. I get what he's saying, but that's what's fun about it. Not the you know, the thing on the screen that just read, but it's just, it's fun not knowing what's gonna happen. Like, what's class gonna be OP? What kind of build will be meta? What kind of thing is gonna be crazy? You don't know. And that's fun. And yes, there will be some people molding. Hunters, boomkins, like whenever they get nerfed. But it's just fun having something be completely unknown, man. It's so cool. I do think, though, we have an obsession about wanting to play the best thing. I always get so many questions every day. First of all, is it too late to start playing the game? And no, it's never too late, okay? You can always catch up. And then the other question is like, what class should I play? I mean, the answer is always whatever you think sounds cool. Especially in Season of Discovery. Just play whatever you think sounds the coolest and just see how it goes. Because every class is good, right? Just give me original classic with more content. That's kind of... I mean, that's not kind of what we have. We have classic with a lot more on it, right? But yeah, I like the way that Season of Discovery has been done so far, though. It's been a very... I still can't believe we have it, actually. I still never thought Blizzard would go this hard on, like, changing Classic like this.
Idea of balance that WoW players are used to essentially non-existent, and that's a goddamn phenomenal thing because it lets you focus on what matters, the Season of Discovery. And SOD has players from every walk of life. You have boomers who have been playing for 20 years and their fingers have the same speed as their toes. You have 30-year-old millennials whose crowning achievement is how good they are at WoW, which is fucking sad. You have the other 30-year-old millennials who have 7 wives, 49 children, 15 jobs, and 3 seconds.
Why are they all 30
a week to play? And no matter what kind of player the audience is, the player base—
Why are they all 30? Dude, WoW Gamer, okay.
For World of Warcraft is dedicated and passionate. And WoW as it is has always been a game that has rewarded that playtime and dedication. And Season of Discovery has continued that tradition. But now it's forcing you to play in a way that most people haven't gotten to play for close to 2 decades. You will know nothing, you don't get to find out anything, and you will find out what Daddy Agron will let you know. So be thankful and pray that your class is good. And so, as I said earlier, you can't pick the best class. Not in Season of Discovery. Yet even
I saw some people that were genuinely like, not, I don't know if they were angry, but they were frustrated that the all the stuff weren't released before it came out because they wanted to know what they what to roll. They wanted to know what was the best runes and everything already prior to it releasing, so they could play the best class. It's like, what? I mean, I don't know. It's a little bit too much, you know, like that, I guess. We don't get classic with some sprinkles. They layered the cake and iced the hell out of it. Yeah, exactly. It's not just sprinkle. It's a whole different goddamn cake. But it's the layer is still the same. Like the insides are still the same, right?
Even if you can't pick the best class, in gaming, and especially in World of Warcraft, people want to play the current most overpowered class. Whether they get to pick it or not doesn't matter. They want personal affirmation that the class they're picking is good so they don't feel like they've wasted their time and effort. Whether that's for personal satisfaction, status amongst other 30-year-old men because no woman gives a shit, or a simple desire to excel in the game and be the best of the best, there's a very deep allure to playing the most top-tier class. Yet
dude, people have... WoW players have big egos too. Right? And how are you supposed to have a big ego if you play a shitty class? You know, they want to pop off, you know what I mean? They have a rational fear of making the wrong decision. Yeah, I think a lot of people genuinely are very scared of making a wrong decision. Right? For sure. I do agree with that. What sounds cool? Hey, well, let's just say thanks, nerds. WoW hit Season of Discovery, Season 2 DPS tier list. Choose a class based on that. I always tell people, just choose a class you think sounds fun. Because they're all going to be pretty good at something, right?
This is expected of the classic player base for the most part, with pass chasing, optimization over everything, GDKPs and things of that nature essentially coming second nature to the classic experience at this point in time. But
oh yeah, dude, I was wondering why he was showing me. I was reacting to a pre-Fox clip in this video. This was a ring in Trial of the Grand Crusader that went for like 3 million gold or something. Like... I don't remember the exact price of it, but it went for like 2 or 3 million gold. A ring. That is fucking nuts.
This point in time.
3.08, yeah, 3,080,000 gold for a ring. For a ring. I mean, I don't know.
But thankfully,
dude.
GDKPs are now banned in Season of Discovery, and hopefully the rest of WoW as well in the future. But, as people have said, the players will optimize the fun out of World of Warcraft, because efficiency is better than fun, because fun is personal, and efficiency can be flexed. So with all of that covered, the class you pick to play in Season of Discovery genuinely doesn't matter. I know, you want to find the best, but it truly doesn't exist in the same vein that it did in Classic and Retail, due to a few simple things. New raids, potentially new dungeons, old dungeon changes, new items, item changes, runes, class tunings, skill books, and more. And when you can,
it's also just like a thing we've never had in vanilla. We've never had new content like that. Vanilla has always been known, right? So it's just new. It's really a new way of
behind
playing
all
for
these
vanilla.
things, you cannot pick correctly. The number one class of Phase 1 didn't even get to stay the number one class of Phase 1. The Hunter drama was truly incredible due to them being the best, then getting nerfed, and figuring out another way to be the best to getting nerfed again. To that very same thing happening 2 more times before Hunter got knocked off its throne. It was still top 3 classes easily, but they didn't even get to stay as the most broken and OP class for the entirety of a singular phase. Whatever class you pick for Phase 2 will very likely not be the best class of Phase 2 for more than a few weeks. And then if you want to be the best class, you'd have to pick another class to level and then gear up. Now if you're one of the few players who enjoys leveling alts, this isn't a super big problem. And level 40 isn't even a very high level to achieve anyway, so this isn't super difficult even if it is time consuming. But with Phase 3 then Phase 4, this doesn't even count Phase 5, which will likely be Molten Core and Onyxia. I just don't see...
Those raids are just gonna be so easy. Like, unless they do something to Molten Core and Onyxia and stuff like that, it's gonna be such a pushover. Like, we could probably, if we were able to attack the bosses right now at this level, we could probably do Molten Core with the current items we have. Like, that's how good the gear is right now. They will 100% be changed. No way they left unchanged with all the gear we have. Yeah, people are just way too strong now, ask me. Yeah, it is. Or we are.
See how it's possible to have
everything is easy in Classic. Yeah, I mean that's the Classic was never a hard game, and that was never the appeal of it. I think it has like a... Some people think it's a hard game and they disguise the difficulty behind like a grind, right? Like something that's difficult in Classic usually is just grindy. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. That's just MMOs. That's RPGs. That's just how it is. But it's not difficult, right? I got angry Whispers and Ogrimmar for having a wrong enchant, all because I wanted to make my weapon glow rather than having 30 more mana. Even though content is easy, I was done week 1. People are very weird with that stuff, man. It's the same thing, like, I heard that people were acquiring, like, gear score, certain gear score levels or item level, and also, what is it called? Like experience in No More again. Like, and it's like week 2, not even. Like what the hell, man? It's like applying for a job, and then you haven't had any experience with the job, and in order to get the job, you have to have experience with the job you're applying for. It's like, how am I supposed to get the experience if I don't even, like, if I can't even get the job, you know? Like, what the fuck? That's real world, though? Yeah, of course, but it's just rough, right?
Best class for Season of Discovery. Wait, I do. Your favorite class is the best pick. You simply can't go wrong with it. Due to runes and the very core and integral changes to Classic WoW and Season Discovery, every single class will get its time in the sun. Whether you're a Boomkin, a Shadow Priest, a Retribution Paladin, or any of the other specs that had a terrible experience in the original Classic, you will get your time to shine. Because runes have already made all of these classes viable and worth bringing. They might not be the best now, but Boomkins went from being useless to being PvP menaces and being able to stay toe-to-toe with better casters, and that's simply phase 1. With more gear, more runes, and more scaling, every class will be able to perform and bring something to the raid and to the content. There are simply no bad classes. Though I would like to say there is one caveat to there being no best class in Season Discovery, and this is the only caveat I can think of, is that if you're going after the world first race or a challenge or PvP. In these kinds of circumstances and scenarios, whilst every class will be viable, some classes will bring an extra 2% DPS, healing, or an extra 4% utility or survivability, and these small things added up across a 10-man, 25-man, or 40-man raid experience are actually important. But even
there will definitely be classes that are gonna be very difficult getting into raids with, and I'm not even gonna lie, I think Warrior right now is one of those. I think Warrior probably is one of those classes, but it's you're always gonna be having issues playing with other players because it's an MMO and it's a multiplayer game, so people want to bring the most optimal shit. That's just unfortunate, right? It really is, and I guess that's why this whole thing is such a big thing, even because it's our fault that it really turns out to be such an issue. And we the players, I don't know, because people gatekeep so much and people want to min-max so hard, right? So you're almost forced to min-max if you want to play with people. Warriors nowhere near the bottom of the tier list. Warriors molding over more than phase 1. I think Warriors are quite good, but it's just because Warriors are not number 1, right? If Warriors are not number 1, they're dog shit. I think they're great. I think Warriors are fine, but I'm just talking about the general opinion on it, right?
in this context, it's not so much the class as it is the players using that class to 100% of its capability to go for a world-first experience. But that's less than 1% of the player base. Far less than that, honestly. So for the vast majority of players who aren't even playing their own classes to their best ability and utility, the only right choice is to pick the fun class, which is your favorite class. Getting back onto the point and the core message of this whole video, Season of Discovery is about fun. It's about discovery. It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. No, what the fuck? For real, it's about enjoying your time in Azeroth and playing the game and enjoying the spirit of classic WoW. I mean, to also be fair, it's 10-man content. It's really not difficult and it's meant to be completed by everyone. The bar for completing content is pretty low at the moment. There's not much skill expression required. If you're genuinely struggling with 10-man content, I don't know what to say except how. Nonetheless, by focusing on the meta or chasing the meta or little things that strip the fun out of the game, you strip the fun out of the experience. Because you're mining for something that doesn't exist. At least, not in this version of World of Warcraft. The core point of Classic WoW is easy content that allows you to focus on the world, on the community around you, and on the game. The difficulty in Classic WoW mostly comes from getting people together in a cohesive manner. Organization and community management are the real endgame bosses of Classic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you really want difficult content to the point of pointlessness, try Retail WoW. To put it in dancing metaphors, Classic WoW is your slow waltz. For Retail, they're going to learn how to break dance and battle rap at the same time. So, to summarize, ignore the meta, pick what's fun, because what's fun won't change, but the meta definitely will, and it will constantly change. But hey, maybe I'm simply ranting and being self-righteous, completely missing the point of people who min-max games like Season of Discovery and Classic. Who knows? Thank you all for watching, subscribe and like the video, Ebonhard out.
Yeah, I will say, overall I do agree with this take. I think it's true that you should just play whatever you think is fun, because you don't know what's gonna happen as SOD. Like, a class you're playing right now might be not so good, but it's gonna be really good in a few weeks or month or so when more runes come out. Maybe a class that's really good right now is gonna be shit later. Who the heck knows? Just play whatever you think is fun, right? And then figure it out. But with that being said, there definitely is a lot of gatekeeping within the, especially the pucking community in SOD and in WoW in general. People are very, very, very picky with who they invite in terms of classes, right? Could you pick what class is fun for me? I don't know what would be fun for you. I know what I think is fun, you know? But that's me. We're all different with that stuff, right?